Yo, welcome to the SideBar Conversation, man. It's your boy Hyphen man. How y'all doing, man? Come on in. Got a good one today, y'all. We got a good one today. We talking about toxic relationships. We got a whisper from one of our listeners, and man, this is what y'all want to talk about. We finna talk about it. Come on in. So right now, guys, we're on Facebook and YouTube live right now. So if you're watching this right now, go ahead and drop a number one. Drop a one in the comments for me, man. What's going on? How y'all feeling? Y'all, April 16th, they taking away the watch parties, man. I don't understand. I don't understand why Facebook be on that. But hey, man, I am hyphen X, man. Welcome to the SideBar Conversation, man. We are talking about toxic relationships, man. Come on in. If you're watching this right now live, go ahead and drop a number one in the comments for me. Drop a number one in the comments for me. Let me see. Oh, Dominic Castleman L, the Swift and Jail from the Elephant in the Room podcast. What's going on, bro? About to get into it here momentarily. Come on in. What's going on, Danielle? Everybody, come on in, come on in, come on in. We about to really talk about this today. We talking about toxic relationships. That's my homegirl from TikTok would say, 88 bodies. Let's get into it. What's up, Jeremiah? All right. So y'all know how I like to do, man. Let me just guys, make sure that if you're watching this on the watch party, I'm gonna try to get to your comments, but priority comments are coming from right here on the Great Conversation podcast page. So you might want to hop over there. But I will be dropping a link in a moment. Yeah, hey, you listen, Danielle, I'm about to drop the link. That's the beautiful part about this SideBar Conversation. I dropped the link and I talk to you, our listeners, live on the air, unedited, raw. Raw. All right. So we're finna get into it here. Let me 1 second here. So if you've been in a toxic relationship, drop a number 3. Drop a 3 in the comments if you've been in a toxic relationship. Have you ever been in a toxic relationship? Okay, I'm about to drop that link. The link is about to be dropped. But go ahead and drop a 3 in the comment area if you've been in a toxic relationship. And then I want you to drop a 5 if you was the person that was toxic. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. We got threes. Ooh, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna admit that they was the top. There it is. There it is. I knew my fellas was gonna tell the truth because I believe that most women don't believe they ever the toxic one in the relationship. Oh, he said it. Oh, he said it. Boom, the link has been dropped on YouTube and on Facebook. Okay. And also I dropped it over in the watch party as well. Okay. Because I want to talk about this. So let's first of all, let's y'all know how I like to do. I like to keep things in a certain arena. Okay. So we're gonna go over here. Let's get some definitions popping. So we're gonna say what a toxic person is first, okay? All right, we're gonna talk about what a toxic person is. So a toxic person is anyone whose behavior adds negativity and it upsets to your life. Many times who are toxic are dealing with their own stresses and traumas. Their behavior adds negativity. It adds to it. So it's not all on them. I just want to put that out there. It's not all on them by far. This is our sidebar conversation, man. We are talking about toxic relationships, okay? And then I want to propose another question. So since we got that, I want to propose this question. Well, hold on. Let's see. So in the comment section, or you can come on and share real quick, because I feel like we're gonna have some people who want to hop on here and whatnot. So we're gonna have to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? What are some signs that you're in a toxic relationship? Like, what are some real signs that you're in a toxic relationship? What are they? Some people will say, like, oh, you know, she not going nowhere because he don't let her go nowhere, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not allowed to be jail. My man Jeremiah said jail. What you mean by that? What you mean, like a person just doing their time? Like in the relationship just doing their time? Oh my God. I see if that's the case, bro, I see so many toxic inmates out here. Relationship inmates. I see them out here all the time. The ones that may reply to you and you'd be like, you know what I'm saying? How's everything? Oh, you know, man, I'm just making it day by day, you know, gotta get home to the wife and they hit you with one of them, or, you know, my husband, you know what I'm saying? I gotta girl, I'm gonna get home to my husband real quick. I don't know. Like they don't feel enthusiastic. Baby mama drama. Baby mama drama is what? Is that what a byproduct of what? If two people keep getting the police involved, insecurities, you going too broad. Come on, Danielle, you going too broad. What you mean? What insecurities? Are insecurities are there because if we look at that other oh damn, I messed up. If we look at the other topic here, it say right there, dealing with our own stresses and traumas. So could it be that maybe their insecurities are being triggered by something that the other partner is doing? Could not their trauma be being triggered? Share this live, man. Share this live. Share this live for me, man. If you're watching this live right now, go ahead and drop a 1 for me. Always thinking that the other person is cheating. What's the word, bro? Always thinking that the other person is cheating. Come on. Has anybody ever experienced that? Has anybody ever experienced always thinking that another person was cheating and them not have been cheating? Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. Let me bring this on screen. Toxic behavior comes from unhealed people not ready to love. Let's just keep it a buck. I grew up listening to the 90s music, and 90s music kind of put it in your head that, man, if you're not getting hurt, you're not being loved right. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. So, like, that's deep right there. So insecurities can trigger toxic behaviors from people. Manipulation, always arguing, violence. If two people keep getting the police involved. Let me see what else we got here, man. So this is our sidebar conversation, man. I am -X, the host right here. And this is our show where I talk to you, our listeners, live over on YouTube or over here on Facebook, man. Also, there's a link that has been dropped. If anybody wants to come on, you are free to come on, say your piece. You know what I'm saying? Because I can read this stuff all day, but it sounds so much better when it come out y'all mouths, I promise you. So here are some signs that I just kind of looked up. And they say that this is what, like, toxic individuals do, right? They try to intimidate you to get their way. They try to control you by guilt tripping. They are easily jealous. And they constantly see themselves as victims. Toxic. This is what they say on the internet is toxic people. Have you ever been the toxic one? Have you been in a toxic relationship? Guys, click the link. Come on live with me. Let's talk about it. It's a sidebar conversation, baby. Let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? And okay, so all this is going on, right? So we always, the toxic person, You know what I'm saying? We always talking that, but who is more toxic? The one being toxic or the one accepting the toxic behavior? Who's more toxic at that point? Because we have no problem admitting that we've been in a toxic relationship. But how high was your toxicity? How potent was it? What about your stresses? What about your traumas? How did they affect your relationships? The enabler, what that mean? You say you was an enabler. What that mean? How would you enable your mate? Because you can't just assume that everybody is heterosexual nowadays. You can't do that. So your mate, your partner, how did you enable your partner? Because you hear that a lot. You hear that a lot. A lot of women say that. A lot of women say, I was an enabler. You know what I'm saying? The one that accepts. The one that accepts is the more toxic one. Because they feel like they may need to have that. I don't know. That's a good one. By allowing the behavior to continue and staying. Okay, so like what that mean? Okay. So what is that like? What are we considering toxic behavior? Talk back to me. What are we considering toxic behavior? You know what I'm saying? What is some toxic behavior that you have accepted in the relationship? What is some toxic behavior that you have accepted in the relationship? Toxic being a part of your norm. Okay, so like, what is some toxic behavior? Because that's very broad. Like, what's toxic in the relate? Let me think. Like, toxic behavior for me was I was accepting. Okay. I was okay accepting a life that I know I didn't really want. That's toxic. That's toxic behavior. That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That's the ooze. Dipped. That's toxic behavior. I believe toxic behavior is when you're willing to really give up yourself for someone else. We don't romanticize love for too long. Love has been romanticized for too long. For too long, man. Share this live, man. Share this live, man. You cannot give your all to someone and then be mad because you empty. Look, man, I'm not here to preach, man. I'm not here to preach, man. Like, I'm dropping the link again, man. Come on and talk to me. We got the link dropped. It's in the comments. Who is more toxic? The one being toxic or the one accepting the toxic behavior? Oh, guys, we gotta read. And this is the perfect person to have come on right now because she qualified. I got master life coach Ashley D. Williams just popped in. I'm gonna bring her on here. Boom.
Hey, good
What's
morning.
going on?
Not much. How you doing?
Hey, I'm making
Oh,
it. Hey, you came right on time. You came in right on time. That was right on cue.
great. I had,
That was right on.
I was like, I need to get on this show.
I'm gonna let you have the floor. Here's your stance on toxic relationships, and then you can answer the question that's on the screen.
Okay, all right. So my stance on toxic relationships. Um, we've all been through them. Most of us, like 90% of us, we have all been through them, and most of the time we get in them because of our past and our own issues that we really have not gotten over. So the toxic relationship honestly comes from what you're used to, what you'll accept, and sometimes it's also you see potential in a person that you just don't want to let go of. So you end up in that relationship for longer than necessary. Like you know it's bad for you, but we stay there because it's so good to you. So let me check out the question on the screen. Who is more toxic, the one being toxic or the one accepting toxic behavior? I kind of answered that. So I think the one accepting it is
Yeah.
more toxic. Honestly, I mean, just to be
Yeah.
truthful, the person that's accepting it, you're more toxic. Because you're allowing this behavior. You're telling this person that it's okay. It's okay for you to keep treating me this way. It's okay for our relationship to keep going down this route. Um, and I know we're not responsible technically for anybody else's actions, but we're responsible for how people treat us. So you can't be like, oh, he's treating me bad, but or she's treating me bad, or it's just not going that well, but you stay there and you accept it. Like that's your fault, to tell you the truth, and that's
Yeah.
something that we all have to learn how to accept.
I yeah, I agree with that. I agree with what you said. Just based off the fact, as you know how you got recovering drug addicts. Like I am a recovering toxic individual. Like when I hear about like stories from my friends about like their toxic relationships and stuff, I'm like, man, I used to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like to come up out of the toxic sewage of depression and the toxic sewage of mediocreness. You know what I'm saying? To come
hmm
to come up out of that, to come up out of that is very, very powerful. Powerful. We got my man
yeah,
Dominic L. He says, put it on the screen. He says that you can be born into toxic situations.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
yeah, but I think once you become conscious that your situation that you were born into is toxic, it becomes responsibility at that point.
And you absolutely right too. I was just gonna say that so many people hold on to, well, my mom did this, or my daddy was like that, or whomever raised me. I just grew up this way. But they realized that at one point you became an adult. At one point you knew right from wrong. You began to know right from wrong. So it became your responsibility to either fix you or to get out that situation. So and a lot of us just don't want to accept the responsibility of being grown. It takes maturity. So honestly, if you can't realize that something is toxic, you're not willing to grow. Um, in all truth, you're just not willing to grow. You're not willing to become an adult. I often tell people that everybody looks as a male or a female as once they hit 18, they're a woman or a man, and that's just not fact. It takes maturity. It takes a level of maturity. Just because you have those body parts don't mean you grow. So it's male versus man and woman versus female at this point. So it all takes growth
Yeah.
in all relationships.
So let's talk about that. Let's dive into that a little bit deeper. So a person's being born into a situation, uh you said, why do you think in our community that 18 is so pivotal? Like 18, like, hey, you grown, got it, keep it moving. Is it because maybe our first relationship is viewed as a burden?
Now, I think it's a lot. In the black community, it stems from all the way back from slavery, pushing, just becoming an adult, the whole separating our families. And then, even in most black communities, girls can't even date until they're 16. So it's just like, no, you can't date until you're 16. I don't know if that happened with your family, but it happens in mine. So, and then when you're 18, it's like, well, you grown, you got to go off to college, you got to get out of my house. And that's, to me, it's a little crazy. Like, at this point, they literally just finished high school, and we really have not taught them about the real world. School sure isn't teaching them. about what the real world is, but we push them out there, and they're honestly just babies, to tell you the truth. They haven't
Yeah,
had any real world experience
yeah,
unless
they're not
you purposely gave it to them.
exactly. That man right there. I think is the most pivotal key. I think that people believe that they're just supposed to provide for their children and schools raise them.
Hmm.
So they correlate that same time frame that when you graduate high school in the school system, it's pretty much done with you. Then they have to give you all the proper skills for you to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And now you're an adult. Because I stand by what I said earlier that in the black community, having a child is viewed more so as a burden than a blessing.
Yeah,
Keep it a buck. Let's just
yeah,
let's keep it a buck.
that's true. I mean, 'cause it's another mouth to feed. I
Number
mean, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What you said?
yeah.
It's
Oh, I
it's
said
weird because
have the highest number in abortion.
oh yeah, man, that's to me it's saddening because I mean I feel like we are the chosen people. You know, we have to develop and reproduce, and we just have to be here and show up. And I know that we receive so many burdens because of the color of our skin, but our babies are blessings. Like they are kings and queens. It's proven scientifically that we are genetically stronger as a people. When we're born, like we are just powerful as a race. So you technically want to reproduce that. Like, you see these little brown babies, of all shades, and we will want to reproduce that, but it's been instilled in us that we are a dark person, like we're dark people. It's so negative. Like the black person is negative. It's a negative thing to have brown skin, and the darker their skin color, it's the worst, and it's absolutely not true. And I think it's loving ourselves that have to come in play first, and that way we can love our children and we can want more children. I came from a family of my grandmother was the oldest girl of 18 children, and her mother was one of
Oh my
18
god.
herself. Yeah, her mother was one of 18 herself, but because my grandmother was the oldest girl, and she was born in the age where she had to work in the field still, she had to raise those kids at a young age. She had to help raise them. So when she became older, it was like, I don't want to do this, So she only had three, and then her kids have two,
Mm-hmm.
and and their kids have. Some of us don't have but one, and it became a cycle. Really, I think all of it stemmed from that. Like we had to work the fields, and we had to stay away from school and to take care of our brothers and sisters because that was the only way we could make it. And in doing that at such a young age, we didn't want to have children ourselves. Even though it was a blessing, we saw it as a burden because we had to take care of children that didn't belong to us. So
Mm.
again, that just
Mm.
became, at least for my family, we took care of children that didn't belong to us. In 18, my daughter, my grandmother didn't get past really a third grade education. And she doesn't have shame in telling anybody that she basically is self-educated, which is where I get
Mm-hmm.
my love for self-education as well, because she taught herself. But she had to raise all these kids that didn't belong to her. So she didn't want to raise a bunch of kids, especially not by herself.
So that works, huh? So
Yeah.
no, that make no that makes sense because she was just you don't man that do work. I'm sitting here because I'm thinking about like all the young babysitters that I had when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think about how many kids they had, how many kids they have, and no, they have a lot of kids. Like they may have one, and that's about it. Maybe two at the most. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
They don't have like a plethora of their own kids because they're tired of taking care of kids. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. Now, Danielle said here, I like the potential aspect of the toxic, because that all has to do with the toxic individual. Now, what
Yeah.
about the individual that's accepting the toxic behavior from the individual because they see the potential in a person? Because I can say this, that when I was deep down in my toxic behavior, that I used to hate when like my spouse would say, I love you because I see your potential.
Mm.
So you love me for who I'm going to be and not who I am? What the fuck did you know what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah.
that that would trigger me. You know what I'm saying? So what would you say to an individual who sees, who caught up in seeing the potential, and then what do you say to the person that is flabbergasted and upset about you loving the future them and not the present them?
So it's great. I have never heard anybody say what you just said. Like you upset that they love and future you, but it's nice to hear because sometimes we don't. Sometimes, especially men, they don't open up and tell you that they don't, what they really truly like and how they truly feel. Sometimes it's a little harder, and communication is key. But I was in a toxic relationship, and for 10 years, um, and I was that person that saw the potential. Like, man, you can be so great. And like, I love you now. So it's not saying I don't love you at your current state. It's just saying I can see the greatness in you that you don't see in yourself. And if you can only see that, you could soar. And sometimes that's what women are, or of course I'm assuming you date women, but sometimes that's all women are telling you. It's like, I love you now, babe, but I see that you are just not giving it your all, and you can be so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people don't know how to verbalize it. They don't know how to tell you that, and instead it becomes arguments, it becomes fights, it becomes like, you ain't this or you ain't that. You could be so much. In that point, you become an abuser yourself because you don't know how to speak to somebody properly with respect. It's really a meaning of
Mm-hmm.
respect. And I've been there. I was young. I ain't cussed a man out before and belittled him. And I'm not saying I was perfect in a relationship. I've been there. We want to knock a man's soul out of out of his whole
Mm-hmm.
body sometimes, but just it's just a power struggle. And a lot of times, like for me, it became, again, I love you, I see your potential, but at the same time, you're not going to tear me down. I saw the men in my family belittle women. They just sat there and accepted it. So at the same point, I'm trying to be a
Mm.
strong woman, but not exactly knowing how to be a mature woman because I didn't see women stand up for themselves. I didn't know how to
Ooh.
properly do it. I didn't know how to properly
Wait a
verbalize.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't just say that.
I said it.
You gotta back. You back that up. You gotta back that thing up. Say that again. But you was a strong woman, but that doesn't. What
That doesn't make you a
you say
mature
about
woman.
maturity?
It does
Oh
not make
my
you a mature
God.
woman, not even on the tiniest spectrum at all.
Oh
The
God.
strong black woman thing is such, it can be a burden, to tell you the truth. Because most of us don't want to be strong. We don't want to be
I bet.
independent. We just want a man that can just lead, or a person that can just take some kind of responsibility. But we have to trust that you will do that. We have to be able to
Yeah,
see
that's
that
the trust
potential that
part.
yeah, to see we see the potential. That's the problem. We see the potential of you being a leader, you
Yeah.
taking over, but you're just not actively doing it for some odd reason. Or maybe you're not doing it to the level that we expect you to be on, but we can't push somebody to be on our same level. It's never going to happen. If I'm growing faster than you, I can tell you, baby, catch up. But I can't expect you to want to actually
Yeah.
grow.
So you believe in the kind of outgrowing a person?
Absolutely. People outgrow each other all the time. God doesn't give everybody the same
Mm,
level of growth, and
mm,
then we don't get the same level of growth. And then also, some people just not gonna grow. They're gonna stay stagnant the rest of their lives because they're comfortable in their situation.
mm. Oh my gosh, this is hidden. This I remember. I remember when I was like that. That's a true. That is a true statement. I said those words about the potential. Like I said those words. Like, how you gonna love the future me and not love the present me that stands in front of you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, man, that's deep to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm on the verge of tears over here because I've come a long way. You know what I'm saying? A very long way. Uh, when you were like my man Dominic said, when you're born into toxic situations, when you're taught to think about yourself a certain type of way, when you're shown you act a certain type of way, you'll be treated a certain type of way. It's very traumatic. I think we really need to reevaluate how we are parenting our children and
absolutely.
really get back to parenting our children so that I've never seen myself in the future. I never imagined myself to be 21 when I was younger. I never imagined myself to be 25. I never imagined myself 35, but recently I've started to
Wow.
imagine myself being 50 and 60. You know what I'm saying? I never thought about that. I was just caught up in the situation. Because when you in the toxic or polluted water, you can open your eyes all you want under the water, but you're still not gonna be able, you know what I'm saying? When I'm dry in this toxic ooze and I can't see. I
Yeah,
can't see what's in front of me. So how can I even imagine being on land? You know what I'm saying? Talk to me.
that that
Help the men help the
that
men
sounds
that are
good.
out there and the women. Help us. What you got for us?
So, so as far as that goes, it's so many. So let's talk about, because really you talking about the past and how you grew up, right? I'm gonna just be
Mm-hmm.
honest. It's some stuff that we can deal with on our own, but a lot of times we need to go seek some mental advice. It's mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and mental health is such a stigma in the black community, but we need help, to tell you the truth, and we can't take advice from people who still in it. I'm sorry, you can. They can tell you what not to do. They can
Yeah.
tell you how not to do something, but you cannot get advice from somebody who's still in the toxic relationship on, baby, this how you do it. But as far now, I grew up in the toxic and the muddy, like you said, straight out the mud is how I feel. I got it straight out the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Where every single male I saw was abusive. Every single woman I knew was a strong woman, is what they called her. So-called strong woman, but they stayed in that because they were married, because it's biblical. You stay with your husband, okay? And to me, as a
Mm-hmm.
young child, I'm like, this ain't right. This is not. I refuse. But at the same time, that's where my problem became. Now I'm a strong woman. You're not gonna do this to me. That's where I become the toxic person. That's where I become the verbally abusive one, because I can attack you with my words. I know I physically can't fight you. I physically can't defend myself, and I'm not gonna put my hands on you. But at the same time, I can use words. If you're hurting me, I'm gonna use words back. It's really childish, because two wrongs don't make a right. So really, you have to find out, like, what don't you like, what won't you accept. You have to set standards for yourself, both men and women, and you have to start thinking about your future and what you want it to look like, and just go ahead and make it that. Like, we are responsible for our own happiness. Your spouse is not responsible for how happy you are. No one is but you. So if that person's not making you happy, you can't say, well, I'm going to change him or her. You have to change you, or you have to learn how to let go. And it's sad. Sometimes it's hurting. It hurts,
Yeah.
to let go, but you have to become what you want to be and be happy for you, in whatever way and whatever it takes to do it. Sometimes it takes just music therapy. Sometimes it's the Bible, or the Bible becomes therapy for people. But if it takes reaching out to someone just to speak through what you have in your mind to seek growth, do that. Like people don't know that the difference between a life coach and a counselor or a psychiatrist is psychiatrist deals with your
Yeah.
past. They deal with your past and they want to see what's going on, why you got that way, the growth, the crying. I'm not gonna do that. As a life coach, I'll give you your 3 minutes to cry about it, but we're gonna get over it and we're gonna look at the future. Like, okay, that happened. Now what? Now you gonna keep crying about what made you this way?
You're right.
No, you grown now. What do you want to do about it? How do you want to grow? What do you want to see your children? Do you want to see your children uh, become a better person than you? Because we all do. Do you want to see your children in toxic relationships? Do you want to see them constantly arguing? Another thing is people think that because they close the door that everything is fine, but walls talk. Okay, yelling and screaming and all that. The
Oh
kids
yeah.
still can hear. Kids still can hear. So you're still instilling that into that child. So it's, again, how much do you
I
really
don't.
want to deal with? How much do you really want to grow in your relationship?
Yeah. One of my issues when I was pulling myself out the toxic waste was I was like stuck on start. You know what I'm saying? Like you get out a little
Mm,
bit and you just it's foreign to you because you used to traveling with a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you can now you don't have these bags, and now you're moving about, but you phantom on you. You know what I'm saying? Because the
man,
weight of the bags, they not there. They not there no more, but it's still there. Because I ain't dealt with it. I just put the bags down. I didn't deal with it. I just put it down. But that
no.
phantom weight was still slowing me down. Go ahead.
So it's like you know, I watch a lot of or listen to a lot of sermons and things like that. But pastor basically it's a lot of balls thrown at you. So it's a lot of obstacles being thrown at you. You just holding them because you're that strong person, man and woman, right? So my family issues,
Mm-hmm.
my relationship issues, and I'm gonna hold on. I'm just keep holding on to this thing because this thing has now become comfortable to me. This is what I know. This is what I'm used to. So when in a toxic relationship, when you throw on your verbal abuse at me, I've been through that. I can handle that. So I'm gonna hold on to it.
I got
I've
it.
been through abuse. I can handle that. So I'm gonna hold on to it. And then at the point where
Mm-hmm.
they start dropping, you decide to let go. Now you become frazzled and unsettled because you've been holding on to this, and you feel like you know how to take it. And now you got it in your backpack, basically. It's in my backpack. I'm holding on to all this stuff, and you keep throwing at me, but I'm strong. I already know how to deal with it, and I just won't drop it. When it's really like my family issue, that's my family. Even though they ain't been there for me, even though they ain't never done nothing for me, they my family. No, you let them go.
Mm-hmm.
You let them go. Like you let go of this baggage because that's essentially all it is, and now you replace it with some type of love, or you replace it with um whatever it is that you wanna. If you wanna focus on grinding and getting money, you replace it with that. But you have to replace it with something positive in your life. As far as that in a relationship, if you want to see, people always talk about living like the Joneses, like it's a bad thing. It's not. If you want to get there, it's really not. It's not a huge. It's not a bad thing. It becomes bad when it's out of your financial realm. But you can get there. Like if I want to buy 4, 5 big old houses or have the biggest house on the block and make it the prettiest thing in the world, I'm gonna do that because this is something that I'm proud of. This is something that makes me happy. If it's the biggest house in the hood, that's the cleanest one, the nicest one, it's mine at the end of the day. Relationships wise, you can't put yourself on, well, this is how a relationship is supposed to be. because this is what my mama told me it was supposed to be. It's my granny told it's supposed to be. No, it's what me and my spouse feel like it should be. It's what make us both happy. So if I'm happy with what my spouse is doing and my spouse is happy with me, it don't worry about what everybody else is thinking. It doesn't matter at that point.
One of the steps that I had to take, or I continue to take, in my recovery of toxicity, is that I have to be any relationship. I don't care what kind of relationship it is, even with my own children. It has to be on my terms. My relationship has to be on my terms because I believe I was in a relationship that I was under someone else's term. You know what I'm saying? I was always trying to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Not to sway, not try to manipulate. You know, just because a person says you're manipulating doesn't mean you're manipulating though. Let me put that out there. Because that's toxic too, to believe that somebody is always manipulating you. You know what I'm saying? When you're free to make your own. You know what I'm saying? So that's so toxic behavior as well. Let me see
Yeah,
here. Where
that's
else I
true.
want to go with this, guys? This is got. If you guys have anything you guys want to share with us, guys, this is our show. We talk to you, our guests. Our listeners, go ahead and drop anything you want to say in the comments. I'm about to actually comb through these comments to see what we got going on in the comment area. I got Master Life Coach Ashley D. Williams on the show today. Popped up right in the. Let's see here. What we see? Name calling. Oh man, that be killing me. Name calling is just off the chain now. Like
It's childish,
you can't
but
be in a
it makes you feel
relationship.
good, right?
Look, you can't, man, name calling like, man, look, my girl can't even call me bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like real
You
talk.
are not.
Like real talk.
I know what you mean. I'm not your sister. I'm not your
Oh
brother. Yeah,
no, I'm none of
bro.
that.
That is.
I would,
I don't even
let's
like
see.
nicknames. Like you can call me that. I just got used to this whole baby thing. But remember the whole boo. Don't call me boo. That and that's not even negative. It's not my name. You know, boo could be 50 million people. I don't know who are you calling boo. And you know
But then
that
you got
right
the
there
other
came
people.
from some toxic stuff, right?
Mm,
That came from toxic
yeah, like,
relationships because I saw my brother's calling 50 million girls boo, and it was just a way for him just not to forget somebody's name, But so it's weird because it's the tiny things that change us. That it's a deciding factor in who we become. And
it's the
but
build.
but
Yep, it's the
like I
build
said,
up.
at a younger age, the words and the name calling for me became a way to use because I couldn't use my fist. I normally like I'm 5'5". I normally date men that are like 6 feet tall. Um, so and I'm used to like a taller guy, 6'4". Like my ex was 6'2" or something like that, and he was placed in my pro football, a QB. So I'm not gonna put my hand on him. But I
Mm-hmm.
knew, and we know our person that we're dealing with, and we know which words can hurt them. And again, like I said, women, we reach for your soul. We try to hurt you as hard as we're hurting. So the name calling that's verbal abuse, and mental abuse is worse than physical abuse. It's your mind. Like the mind is the only thing that no one can take away from you. But when somebody starts getting into your mental, they are taking pieces.
Yeah, and
So yeah,
I think a lot of men are subject to verbal abuse. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
like you said, I can I can handle that. I was raised by a single mother. I can hold that ball. I got
Not
it.
only that, not only that. So you as a black man you're expected to take that, right? Because if you don't, you a B. You're a little punk. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
take it, like also
Yep.
words hurting you. So and it's
You're,
crazy because we eliminate the fact that black men have emotions. You know, we
Yeah.
eliminate the fact that we act like y'all not supposed to cry. We act like y'all not supposed to be sad about nothing. You have to be this strong man, right? And of course,
Yep.
and that itself is toxic. And it takes
That
again,
is
it takes
very.
growth and maturity to know.
We are the only group of people that we have to say, you know what I'm saying? I'm a strong black man. I'm a strong black woman. You don't hear white people talking about I'm a strong white man. I'm a strong white woman. I'm a strong Asian man. I'm a strong Asian
Oh,
woman. Like you don't hear that. You don't hear that nowhere else. Like you as hell.
right.
That's toxic as hell. Why do I always have to be so fucking strong all
All the
the
time.
time?
All the time. That's because
That's
we
why we out here
feel
flexing. That's
like you said, flex. We out here
yeah.
flexing. Ain't got nothing. And just
But strong,
flexing.
but strong hell.
We have to be
Strong
though.
as
You
hell
know,
out
we
here.
right. We have to be strong. We have to be strong because we tearing each other down. We have to be strong because every other race is tearing us down. And so we have to teach that because when we walk outside this door, everybody is against us. The world is against us. So we teach our kids to be strong. And it's sad. Like it's that white people don't have to walk out the door and worry about if they gonna get pulled over and get shot. Or somebody gonna call them a nigga, excuse my words, but or somebody's gonna
No, no,
belittle
say
them
that.
and you know and down belittle them and demean them just because of the color of their skin and Lord forbid, like me and you have lots. To some people, even our own people, that's the nastiest thing in the world. And
Yeah.
and I wash my hair on the regular. Like my hair is clean, but at the same time, like we as a people have people that say I hate black people. You black yourself and you
Yeah.
hate black people. You gonna produce black
Yeah.
children no matter what race you get with, but you hate black people, and it's sad.
Ain't no stepping in. Or you can turn it. I don't know with this whole everything else going on. You might be able. They may be able to try that transracial thing. Like that
Yeah,
might
they
be.
tried
That
it.
might be. That might be the.
Right.
They try. It'll be back. I promise. It'll be back. You know what
It's
I'm saying?
there. It's
But
there. I'm transracial. That's crazy.
so let's see if we can break it down. Let's see if we can break down five. Right.
Right.
5 signs, 5 ways that a toxic person can come out of the toxic swamp. What are 5 ways? Putting you on the
Mm.
spot. I said we, but I'm putting you on the spot.
You put me on the spot. First thing you have to do is acknowledge. Put me on the spot. Acknowledge that you're in a toxic relationship. Acknowledge that you are. So acknowledge that you are in a toxic relationship. That you are responsible for your own happiness. Okay. So now you have to be responsible for letting go. You have to let go. Figure it out some way. It's gonna hurt. It's not easy. Um, let's go. So we acknowledging that we're in a toxic relationship and we want to leave that relationship, right? Now you have to make a plan to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the last thing you have to do is just make that move. Like you have your plan. What's your exit strategy? So here's another thing. Let's stop. Let's stop at exit strategy, right? A lot of people plan to get out and never get out, or they plan ends up 5, 6 years down the road. Sometimes you just have to leave. Okay. Um, and that's something that I
Yeah.
had to do. That's something that I had to do, and what I had to do was move very far. So I was in Memphis, Tennessee. Um, I'm sorry, I dropped. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me? Okay, so
Yeah, I can still
um,
hear you. Yep.
I left. I knew I had to move 600 miles away from my ex because I love that toxic relationship so much. I knew that if I lived close to him,
Mm.
that I was going back. After 10 years, this is now become a habit. I'm now comfortable with this situation. comfortable but uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you just have to know yourself. You know you're gonna go back. You know you love your boo. Give me 1 second. I
Keep it
can't
a
hear you.
thousand with yourself. Hey, she gonna come back with us, but I love what she just said. You gotta keep it 1,000 with yourself. She said she had to get 600 miles away because she was addicted to that toxicity. She was addicted to. I can relate to that. I remember when I left. Well, when my ex left me. Let me just keep it 1,000. When she left me, had to get away. I can't live in the same town with you, baby. I can't risk bumping into you at Walmart. I'm not emotional. I'm coming off the drugs. I'm in rehab. I gotta go through my steps. I can't. I have to recover for me. I don't want to be. I don't want to be toxic no more. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the man. She right. You got to make that exit strategy, and sometimes the exit strategy got to be made on the whim. Or sometimes you just gotta go. Sometimes you gotta go. Sometimes we are pushed into doing actions that will be better for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta be pushed. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if we can bring her back here. Huh? All right, you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I knocked down everything.
Oh, you good? You good? Man, that is crazy. Knowledge and honesty of self is the sword used against toxicity. Oh yeah, let me put that on the screen.
Mm.
I don't know how I missed that, Dominic. You supposed to end by like, bro, go to the comments.
Right,
Knowledge and honesty
that's
of
it right
self
there.
is the
That's
sword
it
used
right
against
there.
toxicity. You got to keep it a bill with yourself. That what you were saying before you
Yep.
had to leave. That you gotta keep it a bill with yourself. You gotta, man. That listen, when you start doing that,
Yep, like you
I
said, when
don't
you
know. Let
start
me say
doing
this.
that,
I don't like to sound like. Mm-hmm. Like I don't like to sound like a preacher, so I always say like when I started to do that and had to hold myself, when you have to hold yourself accountable, oh my god, like set a goal and then set a goal for yourself and not hit it. Oh, the guilt, the
man,
guilt.
you know what? Somebody was like, I don't know exactly who said it. It said if we punished ourselves like we punish our children, a lot of us wouldn't make
Oh
it.
my
You know,
god.
we hold our now we have our kids at the standard. We you know we want to whoop them, put them on punishment because they don't wash the dishes. Well, when last time you wash the dishes? You know, your room, your laundry. But what if you did that same thing where with your goals, like you said, man, if I don't reach my goal, if I don't make it here on time, you know what's gonna happen? If you start punishing yourself and just like a, I don't know, like man, maybe it'll be something as simple as if I don't go to work on time all week, well, I'm not gonna take myself out to eat because we all take ourselves out to eat. That'll be
Right.
a slight punishment, or I'm not gonna be able to shop. So we sometimes we have to take something that we enjoy away from ourselves if we don't hit our goals, and
So
and
you know
that
how we
that
was,
itself takes a lot of maturity.
yeah, like you know how we was talking earlier about how you're born into a toxic situation. So maybe I'm storming here. I'm not the master coach, but uh, maybe, maybe, maybe what's happening is that phrase "because I'm grown," okay, and our parents not not apologizing to us when they were wrong, okay.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe those things are what we count as adults. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold myself to that standard because I'm not a child. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm grown. If I want my room to be messy, my room gonna be messy. If I don't want to put my clothes in a hamper, I'm not because I fight it. I'm grown.
Right. Right. I'm grown. That's what we get. You so right. Like So I have a daughter. She'll be 15, and we have sometimes I have to tell her like, wait a minute, baby, because we have an open dialect. We talk. So sometimes she'll now when we speak,
Mm-hmm.
my mom looks at me like, "Girl, you crazy?" Like, your daughter. She asks you why, what, but she doesn't ask it in like
What?
a negative. Right? What you mean? She doesn't ask it in a negative. She really just wants an understanding, and I understand it about her. Now I know when she's being disrespectful as well, and we have to go ahead and draw some lines at that point. But if sometimes she'll call me out. And I'm like, you do your laundry. She's like, well, I need to do yours too. And I'm like, what you say? And at the same time,
Yeah.
I can't punish her or scold her for that. Because I'll be like, you're right, baby. And
Um.
I'm one of those parents that will apologize. If I go off the deep end and just start yelling or something like that, I come back to her and I'm like, I'm sorry for yelling. I didn't mean that. I just,
Yeah.
going through, and we have that dialect because you need it. And because she's a young adult, and she needs to learn how,
And
especially when she goes off to college,
to
how to
communicate.
communicate with people. Right. And you have to know that a lot of people
No, that
disrespect our elders thing. Like we're not supposed to, Lord Jesus, you're not supposed to talk back to your elders. Well, I become grown. I'm grown. I got my own children, so you're not gonna disrespect me, right? At one stage, now we
at
have to. Now
all.
it's a level of we're both grown. We both have to respect each other. You just can't talk to me any kind of
Listen,
way. I have a
you
child
just
to
hit the
raise.
nail
You
on the
see
head.
that,
You just hit the nail right on the head. That the whole respect the elders thing. Like it's different. Like I think we kind of have like a similar parenting style because when my kids talk to me, my mom kind of looks at me sometime and be like, "What?" Because I was taught when I was a child, I was taught to be quiet, don't ask no questions. This is that. Why
right?
would I want to give the same oppression that I had to my children?
Right.
It's not the purpose to want my children to be experience of freedom that I didn't have. Is that not the level that we show of a progression? Is that not how we measure progression by the freedoms of the next generation that the generation previous did not have? You know what I'm saying? So I do allow my children to speak. You know what I'm saying? Me and my children have disagreed on things. You know what I'm saying? But I do trump because I'm the parent. You know what I'm saying? It just
Absolutely.
is just how it works. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's
So
just how.
right.
But I
So instead
respect
of
your opinion.
exactly, sometimes it's not even just saying. We have to just change our wording. So instead of saying because I'm grown, and I'm getting that here, all grown people can treat me this way because I'm grown. Now you actually have to use and verbalize correctly why it is you can't do certain stuff. Because now they have an understanding as uh why can't I do this? And you can't just say because I'm grown, so uh why can't you talk to me this way? Let's just use that for an example. You can't say because I'm grown. No, because I'm your
Mhm.
parent and you have to respect me. You have to show respect to your parent because I'm trying to teach you how to respect yourself. So now they have understanding. Okay,
Mhm.
it's a matter of respect. Really, mostly everything in life is just a matter of respect. It's respecting yourself and respecting others. So is like I said, to change our
We get
words.
stuck
To change the
stuck,
way.
and I think we kind of look at parenting kind of like slavery, like masters type thing, because
That's how we
you
parent.
is because I said so. Because I said so. You know what I'm saying? You doing this
Right.
because I told you to do it. I have power over. I have power over you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, man, I enjoyed this conversation. I did. We're gonna have to take this to the podcast, but I I enjoyed this conversation. Go ahead and run your tags. Let people know where they can find you at. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
All right. So you can find me first of all. Go ahead and go over to my page. It's lifekaizen.org. So it's LIFKAIZEN. Kaizen is basically a process of making small steps to grow to the ultimate growth. So that's exactly what that means. Small steps to ultimate growth. So lifekaizen.org. You can reach me that way. I also have a website. I'm currently running for school board because I believe in education. Like I said, the self education is key. So you can also find me at ashleybwilliams.info. Same phone number on both sites, just two different websites. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, even Pinterest. I have like 10,000 followers, I think, on Pinterest. Um, I just love, live life, people. And that's my motto. Like, love, live life. Love it, live it, and just enjoy life and everything that you do. If you have any questions, I'm
Hey,
very open to questions. I speak to anybody. If you see me on the street, holler at me.
that's very
Just
true.
say
She
hi.
said, "Holla at me." That's
Yeah, holler at
very
me. You know,
approachable.
most people, if
I
you see
will
me
say
on the
that
street,
very
you
approachable.
don't know me, right? No, no, but right. If you see me on the street, say hi. I'm very approachable. Um, I sometimes I look like I've been working because I do a lot of renovations and things like that. But if you see me, I'm very approachable and I will speak to you. Come visit me at my office. Location, phone number, everything is there. Um, and yeah, just contact me.
Run that website again.
Website is lifekaizen.org. LifeKaizen.org or ashleybwilliams.info.
Boom. Y'all heard it here. She's running for school board right here, man. Go check out information, make an informed vote. Okay. Go make sure you know what you're voting for. I'm pretty sure based off conversation today, it's really about prevention and elevation. I'm pretty sure
Yes.
that's what the campaign is all about. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you coming on. Hey guys, I appreciate everybody for coming on the show today. Coming on. Thank you for everyone who was in our comment area. Thank you for coming on, guys. Share all that good stuff, man. Don't forget our Great Conversation podcast, man, over there on Anchor. You can get us on Spotify. We're on Apple Music everywhere. Go ahead and give us a follow. Don't forget to follow us at The Great Conversation. Let's talk. Great Conversation. Let's talk at gmail.com is where you can actually email us if you want to have a whisper. Like our conversation today came from one of our viewers. They sent us an email and we talked about it. So, guys, this is our show where we talk to you. And we're also looking for guests for our podcast where we talk about broader subjects and we go a little bit deeper into things, you know what I'm saying? And you know what we like to say here at the Great Conversation. You don't always have to agree to have a great conversation, guys. Peace out.